What is going on, everybody? Dabot Season here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go over what I think is the best options for the C8 ZO6. Now, obviously, if you saw my last video, we went to C8 Corvette, went here, and we placed our deposits, one for me and one for the wife. We both want one of these, so which is really a big thing. I originally was the one that wanted one. She was like, I want one too. And I was like, okay, if you want one, go ahead and get one. So that's the plan. Before we get this video started, make sure you guys come back Monday around 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. Monday, we're going to figure out we're going to figure out the list for C8 Corvette. So if you saw the last video, you're going to see that we went there, placed our deposits. The whole world is waiting to figure out where they are on this list. Everyone that went there. So on Monday, make sure you check out that video. I'm going to release it, and we're going to see where I fell on the list. And I'm pretty excited for it. And we're going to see, was it better to order online or was it better to go in person? So make sure you guys come back on Monday. With that being said, enjoy the video. So I'm going to go over what I believe is the best options to get for a C8 ZO6. Now, obviously, people will be like, oh, well, you gotta load it up, get every option available, and that's obviously the best car. Cool, if you care about having the highest price tag, if that's what you consider the best option car, okay, then do that. But what I think is based off of usability and based off of, in all reality, like how you are going to drive the car, right? So there's two ways. We'll separate it into two categories here. Daily driving, if anyone here is going to daily drive a Z06, versus recreational or track driving, okay? So, daily driving. Highly doubt a lot of people are going to be daily driving the Z06. If you are, like myself, when I get mine, I plan on daily driving it. So there's certain options that make sense. Versus if someone's going to just track the car or just drive it, once on the weekends or something like that. So it's completely different. Now, obviously, we're all excited about the car. The specs came out. They're amazing. Let's go over some of the stuff that you can option. So as of right now, we know there's going to be a 1LZ, a 2LZ, and a 3LZ package, which is basically the same thing as 1LT, 2LT, and 3LT. So if we're going off of what we know from the Stingray, so we'll say 1LT is like their base, so you don't really have a lot of the creature comforts of the car, but you still get the performance when you go Z51 package. So I believe the 1LZ package is going to give you, all the benefits of the performance if you go with a Z07, but you're not going to have the heated and cooled seats and the extra cameras and stuff like that. Now, granted, they might change this up, and when they actually have their configurator on, the actual build configurator online, maybe they'll change it up. But as of right now, this is all we know. So, that's basically the 1LZ, which is supposed to be the 1LT, the 2LT, with the Stingray, which will be the 2LZ. For the Z06, will be probably more of the cameras, the heated, cooled seats, basically more creature comforts, better speakers, stuff like that, like the reverse camera on the mirror kind of thing, sensors on the mirrors, stuff like that. So, and then on the 3LT, you get more interior upgrades and stuff like that, like two-tone seats, different seat options. They all come with different options for seats and stuff. And if you want two-tone interior and Alcantara and all this other stuff. How I see it is basically, if you're going to be daily driving the car, go for the creature comforts. Okay, so you're over here, you're daily driving the car, you're going to want to have the heated and cooled seats maybe. You're going to want to have, not bucket seats. You're going to want to have comfortable seats. You're going to want to have, the rear view mirror thing. You're going to want to have the blind spot indicators. You're going to want to have those things that you would really want in, let's say, your daily car. So let's say your pickup truck, or something like that. You're going to want basically all the conveniences of every other car, but just the performance of a Z06 for daily driving. Now, for everyone else who is not really going to drive this car, or they want to use it as a track car, I would say go with the 1LZ, because you're not going to need the creature comforts. You're not going to need, heated and cooled seats. Sure, you're going to turn on cooled seats while you're on the track. You can. You're going to turn on heated seats while you're on the track. You can. But it's going to add more weight to the car. So you're going to get your better times with a 1LZ with the Z07 package if it's available. Basically, if you are going to track the car, I do not see the point of getting like a 3LZ loaded up with all the options, a lot of creature comfort and stuff like that, because you're going to be adding a lot of weight to the car. Now, granted, if you don't want to track the car, you don't really need the Z07 package, but see, there's plus and minuses to that as well. So if you're not going to track the car, but you want it to look cool and everything like that, go for the Z07 package. That's fine, because obviously everyone that got a Z51 car is not tracking their car. Like, it's just not happening. I know plenty of Z51 owners that are like, I will never track this car. I just got it for the value, or I thought it looked cool, or, you know what I mean? I wanted the extra cooling, stuff like that. That's fine. Like, obviously, it's your money. Do what you want. But the carbon ceramic brakes are like a big deal, right? So carbon ceramic brakes, they stop great. I mean, they're awesome. There's a reason why all supercars really use them now. It's because they really do work, and it's a whole different ballgame. But the problem is replacing them. They get hot when you're on the track, which we all brakes get hot. Carbon ceramics, they get pretty toasty, but they wear fast. They wear really fast. Now, don't get me wrong, normal brakes wear extremely fast too on the track. But when you're going from, $2,000 maybe to replace the brakes, like depending on what your brand is and what you're looking to do, that's why I'm going to say $2,000. I mean, some of us will be way less than $2,000, some of us will be way over. But ceramics, you're looking at probably like $8,000 to replace them. So if you're tracking the car a lot, hopefully you got a big wallet, because if you get the carbon ceramics, I mean, going through brake pads or whatever, your brakes at $2,000 back to back to back. Okay, well, let's say that's 4 sessions equal the 1 session with the carbon ceramic. At least see what I'm saying? So the 4 times you replace regular brakes equals 1 of the carbon ceramics. That's a lot. No, that's a lot. Now I get people are like, oh well, if you can afford this car, you can afford the brakes all the time. Just because people have money doesn't mean they just want to shell it out every 2 seconds. That's like not how this works. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have money by spending money on anything and everything and just not caring. Like, you at some point you draw the line. You're like, hey, this is not smart financially. I don't care if you have $1 million or $100. At some point you're like, hey, maybe I shouldn't be spending all this money on stuff. I mean, I just think that if you're going to track the car a lot, the carbon ceramic brakes, yes, they're great. They're going to stop your car quicker. But if you're worried about any kind of money, or you think like, oh, I'm going to track it 10, 12 times a year, I would not go for the carbon ceramics. That was me. Just because that's a ton of money that you're paying on brakes. Like, don't get me wrong, brakes are important, but come on. Now, also, that's the same concept, though, with the daily driver. So if you're daily driving this car, will carbon ceramic brakes be cool? Yes, it'll be awesome to say I have the Z07 option. But do you really need carbon ceramic brakes when you're driving on the highway at legal speeds of 65 miles an hour? Because we know everyone only drives the speed limit. Yes, technically, I guess you could be like, oh, I wish I had better brakes if, someone runs out in front of you or whatever. Sure, but the wear and tear on carbon ceramics, let's just say, for instance, both brakes wear out the same 20,000 miles, right? We don't know how you drive, we'll just say that. So it could be way sooner, it could be way later, depending on how each person drives, but we're just going to say that range right there. Well, every 15 to 20,000 miles, I'd much rather pay $2,000 than $8,000, because depending on how much you drive and stuff. So like for me, if I daily drive this car, I'll probably put on 40,000 miles in a year, if not more. Well, that means $4,000 replacing brakes at 20,000 miles each time, or $16,000 replacing brakes at 20,000 miles each time. That's a lot. $4,000 a year is already a lot, and you're like, oh, I don't know if I really want to spend that much money. But then you get to 16 grand a year. Wow. That's a lot of money. I mean, 10 years, that's $160,000. 10 years the other way, $40,000. That's a lot of money. But that's what I'm saying. Like, this car is all going to depend on what you guys want. So, obviously, with mine, I think I do. Now, granted, we're going to order 2 of them, which the wife, I don't know if she's going to daily drive this car. And if she does, she's not going to put on as much mileage as me. So, I would highly recommend for her to go ahead and get the carbon ceramic brakes. Get the Z07 package. I think it looks awesome. Me personally, on my car, that's going to be a daily driver. Do I want the Z07 package? Yes, I want it. I want it so bad. But I don't think that it's smart for a daily driver to have that unless you have a ton of money you're willing to throw on this car. Like, throw away continuously. If they have an option to where you can get the Z07 package, opt out of carbon ceramic brakes, which I highly doubt they will. I really don't. Then that'd be the way to go. But, like, for instance, people that wanted the Z51 wing, right? But they don't want Z51. You could go to GM and be like, hey, after you get your car, you can go to the dealership service part and be like, I want to order that wing. And be like, oh, okay, cool. So just because you can't build the car, per se, like if you go on the configurator when it comes out and they're like, oh, well, you cannot have the Z07 wing or the Z07 Aero, you know, you can't have that without getting the full Z07 package, that's fine. Because they're going to tell you can't have it. But if you go to the dealership afterwards or go to the sales, like the service department, stuff like that, and you're like, hey, I need a new, high wing. Well, now it's a high wing, but I need a new Z07 wing, or I need a new Z07 front splitter, blah, blah, blah. Unless they ask you, like, let me see your VIN and see if you even order this stuff, you could probably go there and buy it. And if not, I guarantee you someone in the aftermarket community is going to come out with something that looks just like it, or you're going to get someone who ordered a car with Z07 packages, with the Z07 package, and they're like, oh, I love the wing on the Z07 that it came with, but I wanted to get this other wing. So then they'll take the Z07 wing off, and then they'll probably sell it. You just find people to sell it or trade, or you know what I mean? Like, I don't think, like, if you're just like, I need that high wing, or I need that front splitter, and you're planning on daily driving the car, I don't know. I don't know if the Z07 package is really worth it. Now, granted, obviously, if money's not an issue, go for it. But I just don't think if it's going to be a daily driving thing, I don't think that it's worth it, and that's probably why I'm going to opt out of the Z07 package. Now, granted, this is, November 3rd right now, so who knows? I mean, in 3 months, they might come up with something saying something completely different, and I might change my mind. But this is the initial thoughts kind of deal, and we were talking about it. I was talking about it with a lot of people yesterday when I was at Yoga Corvette, and basically it was all like, hey, are you going to daily drive this car? Oh, no way, no way, no way, no way. And I'm like, okay. And they were like, yeah, but I don't know why you get this, this, and this. And I'm like, oh, yeah, you're probably right. And I was like, I am going to daily drive. And they're like, what? You're going to daily drive a Z06? And I'm like, yeah, it's a car. And they're like, oh, wow. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, what do you think you're going to get? And then I basically explained what I just explained to you guys. And they're like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. I get that. And they're like, but don't you want, like, the carbon fiber wheels? I'm like, yeah, of course I want the carbon fiber wheels. But the day that I hit a pothole and I crack them, and let's just say they're a $20,000 option or something like that, I'm going to have my heart broken even more than a regular wheel. Like, the carbon fiber wheel, I just don't think, like, me personally, if you're going to get the carbon fiber wheels, you're going to get it because this is your show car, or this is a car you're going to keep in your garage 90% of the time, or stuff like that. Like, I get there's going to be the benefits of the weight, the unsprung weight and everything reduction, but if you're daily driving this car, I would not get carbon fiber wheels. Me personally, trying to help you guys out, I wouldn't do it. I don't want anybody to go through that heartbreak. And also, who knows the price of it, right? So let's say it's 20 grand. Well, this is GM's basically the first time, like one of the very few first times, right, that they're designing a full carbon fiber wheel. Don't get me wrong, I have complete faith in GM, but there's other companies out there that have been doing carbon fiber wheels for a long time, and they don't just have one design. And they might be cheaper than GMs. So it's like, yes, I think if you want carbon fiber wheels and you're like, oh, I'm just going to get them, to put it on for the weekends, I would personally order the car with regular wheels, which still look great. So you can even order the stock, like the standard wheels, you can get the black, like whatever, and then buy aftermarket carbon fiber wheels. Because I think it's going to save you a little bit more money, but then you have two sets and you can, you can switch them in and out. And is it going to be a pain? Probably, but I'd rather take a little bit of inconvenience out of my life for having to switch wheels out than me watch, say 20 grand for all four, so a $5,000 wheel just disintegrate. You know what I mean? Like, and then you're stranded on the side of the road with a cracked wheel. Oh, it's a nightmare. I don't even want to think about it. But that's why I wouldn't really go for it. At the end of the day, this is all up to you guys. I'm just giving you guys my opinion and what I've been thinking about on it. I really just think that this Z06 is going to blow a lot of people away. But I want, everyone to keep in mind, like, yes, it's very easy to go online and be like, I want the best of the best. I want the highest option one. I want carbon fiber everything. I want 3LT. I need heated and cooled seats. Don't get me wrong, they're amazing, but it's like, oh, I need that for when I'm going to be driving the car for that 20 minutes, on the weekend. I don't know about that. And also, like, really know your focus on the car. Like, what is the purpose you're getting this car? Are you getting this car to sit in your garage or to drive to church on Sundays, or, you know what I mean? Like, whatever. Or are you getting this car? I'm getting this car to be a street legal track car that I'm going to take to the track any chance I get, and I want to put the best time down possible and get the most capability out of this car. At that point, if that's you, I would go with the 1LZ, save some weight, get better times, but get Z07 package. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't know. I just think that you got to keep in mind what your actual purpose is. Now, you're going to have people that are going to be all over the spectrum on this, but I think, like, it kind of takes, like, a little... You got to really consider, like, what am I going to do with this car? Why do I want this car? Do I want it because of the hype? Do I want it to resell it? Like, it is what it is. But if you want it to drive, right, I would really, really, really consider what am I going to do with this car and what is the purpose going to be for me? Is it going to be the daily? Is it going to be, the weekend car? Is it going to be the track car? And then really think about your options based on that and if, the money's worth it. Like, obviously the car's worth the money, but if, the extra 40 grand in options is needed if you're just going to drive the car at the track. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not doing cross-country trips, why be comfortable? You know what I mean? So first thing, I'm going to go with the body style. I'm going to go with the coupe over the convertible. It's just my personal preference. But then we're going to go to the performance packages. Right now, we all know the Z07 performance package is, like, the one to go for peak performance. And I'm going to go ahead and go with the black wheels. I think the black wheels looks the best. And, like, basically they can go with any color, honestly. It doesn't really matter what color you want. But black always fits. Now, the carbon fiber wheel options, I have a feeling the options are going to be, like, absolutely crazy in price. And honestly, if you're going to actually drive the car, you're probably going to mess them up. So I don't see them being worth it. Then I think if you are going to drive this car, which 90% of us are, that you don't really need all the creature comforts. Now, for a lot of people, they're not going to drive this car every day. So for the majority of everyone here, they're probably going to use this as a track car, not going to be their daily driver. With that being the case, I would go with the 1LZ. You don't need all the creature comforts, but it's lighter than every other model because it has less weight. So it'll be faster for the track. For color, I'm going to go ahead and go with black because obviously, we own a wrap shop. So we're going to wrap the car. Any other color, black's the easiest color to wrap on. So that's basically why I'm going to go with black. And also, black just looks great to begin with. Now, there is a lot of other cool body colors on here. Like, on this, it doesn't really, like, show other colors that well. The black looks great. All around, it's awesome. The only thing I wish is you could change the brake caliper color on here, but when you hit Z07 package, it makes them yellow. And, like, you can't get rid of the yellow. So, not a big fan of that, but me personally, I would go with black brake calipers. But because I was going to do black on black on black, and then you wrap the car, now you got black, black, and everything like that. But yeah, I mean, all in all, the car turns out, you know, awesome. I mean, you really can't go wrong. I just think this is like my personal preference on it. And the only reason why I'm going black is obviously because we want to wrap it. All the other colors look great. If you're not planning on wrapping it, I would not get black, because the black, as you can see here, really hides like some extra body lines and the accents, you know, compared to like another color where it would make everything stand out and pop. So that's one reason why I would go with a different color if you're not going to wrap it a different color. Make sense? But with that being said, I hope you did enjoy today's video. If you did, make sure you smash that like button. Definitely subscribe. Tell anyone and everyone you know to hop on the Dad Bod Season train. Join the Dad Bod Season family, and I will see you guys next time. Dad Bod Season out.